So finally, just want to make sure that everything is okay. Doing the complex validation, which is if the action is RH, maybe in the previous video it was by mistake the state. It's the action. If the action is rejection and the comment is blank, we need to do the validation. Again, for the team leader, if the action is reject team leader and the comment is blank, we need to do this. So now we are done from the InfoPath part of our work. So let us now move to the business process, which will be done through the SharePoint Designer. So this should be easier and should make sense more. First, open the SharePoint Designer. SharePoint Designer 2010 is really a great tool. There is no more pain like the previous that we used to sites and e-service. I will copy the paste and the link from here. Okay, and I will open the I will use my administrative account. Okay, now we will build the business process according to the diagram that was illustrated in the previous article, which is gathering requirements for business processes, article 1. Okay, I will go to the list, which is the container, and I will go, if you can see here, there is something called workflows. So there is no items, there is no workflows. I will create this workflow. I will call it leave request workflow. Okay, this will handle the business process of the leave request. So if you just check the previous the previous article that I wrote, just wanna make sure that you've already seen this. We have the employee submission, the team leader approval, and the HR approval steps. So here we will have the employee submission, and we will have the team leader approval, and you will have the HR approval, and then everything will be done. Human resource approval, and that's it. So building the workflow is, at the beginning we will forget about the emails and the task, and we will just build the logic. So the first thing is building the employee submission. We want to make sure that the action is equals to SE, which is submitting the employee, so that we can proceed with this. So the first thing, we need to set the status. So if the action is SE, so the status should be what? The status should be equals to waiting team leader. That's the first thing. Then we will block the workflow, because if we left the workflow it will go and finish all these steps, but we need to make sure that please stop and wait until you find an action from the team leader. So we will wait until the action is not equal to SE. So the runtime, if we want to call it, the common runtime, will stop here and wait the team leader to modify the SE and make it to, for example, approve or reject by team leader, which will be done when you click the approve. You will set the field, so this will move the workflow. So here is the connection between the InfoPath and the SharePoint Designer. So here, if suppose C is changed to anything, so here we will now check the value. If the value of the action is equals to approve team leader, so we will move it. We will move the item. We will move the set the field to the state of waiting the HR. Okay. Else we just right click here, or just right click here and add else branch, which means that the current item is rejected by team leader. We will set the workflow we will set the state to done, and we will terminate the workflow. There is an action called stop workflow, and in the message we will say team leader, which is we can write it, get, for example, this is for just for team leader, which is the one who will be modified by. Okay, we say rejects the leave. Okay, that's it. So that we finished. So, and finally we will here we need to if it's approved, we need to also make a wait field with the action to not to equal to what approved by team leader. So now if the employee submit the process the document, we will set the state to wait team leader, and we will just keep monitoring the submit employee. Once the SharePoint the InfoPath change the submit employee to approve team leader, we will change the state to wait human resource, and we will do the action wait and keep monitoring the action which is approved team leader. And finally we will do the same business here. If we will add if statement, action is reject, is approve HR, we will set the workflow status to done, so it's done, and we will also stop the workflow. But this time we will add a more friendly comment, which is approved by human resource, which is the modified by, and say that this is modified, the one modified by displayed name. Okay, leave approved, for example. Otherwise, else, add else, for example, or add the else else block, maybe here, not here, here, else branch. You need to be careful where you click. You also set the state to done, and then you stop the workflow, telling that rejected by human resource, which is simply the modified by guy, or we can just get the display name. That's it. So now we implemented that's only the business. We already implement this business. So let us check this after implementing the business. I just need to go to some places, which is I will do the save for all, and I will make sure that the workflow itself starts on when an item created, so that when a submission happens, it should start the workflow. So for example, if we can verify that this list already took the, I just want to change the user because I'm not an admin. Managing the workflows need you to be an admin. I just want to make sure that if you go to the list settings, you will go to the workflow settings, you will find something called not here, you will find leave request. I don't know where it's right now. However, maybe yeah, we need to do the publish. Yes, I did not publish this workflow. Maybe Let me go to the workflow designer again. Okay, okay, leave request, publish. Yes, I need to publish this. Again, if I go to the workflow settings, if I go to workflow, I will find the leave request. Okay, so let me use another account, because as you may know, administrator can't start workflows. It's maybe it's a bug from the old versions, and it's still the same bug. APD test. Okay, this one. So let me go ahead and create a new process. APD test 2, APD test 3. Okay, I am not feeling well, so now I can just make it from 11 to 12 till tomorrow, for example. 21 and do the submit. Okay, so as you can see, it's submit by employee, but let us do a refresh because it's a time driven process. So okay, there is a process, there's a workflow in progress, and it's waiting the team leader input. So if I go again and edit the item, I will get the team leader interface. So I will do your leave is approved, for example, and I will do the approval. So as you can see, it's now waiting the HR. The state is managed through the workflow designer. And finally, if I am the HR, I will also, as you can see, I can see them as read only, and I will do no, you don't have enough balance, for example. So I will reject this leave. So as you can see, it's completed. If you click on the completed, you will see the history of the workflow, who's the users who did that, and rejected by human resource. And as you can see, now we have done the logic of this process. I just remember that the validation, now I'm using the same user, but the validation is the access denied page is already is disabled. So we will run it, we will open it again, but for the demo purposes, it's not just created to make sure that you will do it when you go production. So we finished now the business process. We just need to add the tasks and the email settings in the next video, and we will done from the full business process.